Hey Pablo, good to see you, buddy. You want to be the opening shot of this video?
Sometimes, as I'm getting my day going, I kind of just like to stop and observe the barn cats.
Here we have Ginny Barn Cat. She's always super affectionate, super energetic. We got Mr. Pablo Barn Cat, our longest standing farm employee. He can be a little hit or miss. Sometimes he's super friendly, sometimes he can get a little scratchy and nippy. But overall, he's an awesome guy. And then we have Madam Molly Murder Mittens. Yes, how's it going, Molly Wobbles? Good to see you, sweetie. Molly is actually Ginny's mother. They both came to our farm, I don't know, about a year and a half ago now. And yeah, can't imagine farm life without them.
But really, of all my barn cats, I think Molly Barn Cat is the weirdest. And it's kind of hard to explain why. She is a vicious killer. She often fights and feuds with the other barn cats. But she's just so friendly and loving, I just can't look down on her. And she has a really special place in my heart. And just for the records, guys, I am not a cat person.
Hello, Mr. Toby Dog. Good to see you, buddy boy. How's it going, pal? Everybody's curious about what I got in this bag. It's just some chicken-friendly compost. Toby decided to come out here and mark his territory.
Get back in there, geese.
Come on, buff lady. Get back in there. Got so enamored with watching dogs and cats, I forgot about geese. In you go, in you go. Let's go, come on.
Come on, Mr. Toby Dog, let's go.
Any chance Toby has to get out of the yard, he will pee on every possible thing he can.
It's really one of the main ways that he protects our farm, barking and peeing, which ordinarily many dog owners would find as a frustrating character trait. But for us on our farm, it's absolutely perfect. Yes, it is. Just like you, buddy, you are perfect.
But while I'm handing out doggy love, I can't forget about my gal, Abby Dog. Hi, girl. Hey, sit, sit, hey, sit. There you go, good girl. Yeah, I love you, sweetie. How's it going? Good to see you. You gonna say hi to Toby Dog? Good to see you.
It's another crisp fall morning here on the farm. So it is 33 degrees Fahrenheit, so just above freezing. It's nice crisp air, it should warm up later today.
I know everybody's curious about how things are going in Hoop Coop land. Well, Hoop Coop is pretty much done.
And I'll actually probably shoot parts of the how I built Hoop Coop video later today once I
Clean up some of this final construction mess. Yeah, last night Alfred and I installed the back bay door. So this door rolls up and down.
much like the side panels.
Come on, Abby, you wanna come into the house? Let's go. Underneath. Woo! Yeah, it's definitely warmer in here.
I'm not sure if you can tell on the camera, the acoustics changed too.
Yeah, what do you think of this thing?
I'm really loving how it is right now. Yeah, it's definitely warmer. Once I start putting down some other elements that are gonna be inside here, I think it's gonna get even warmer.
Look, there's Abby Dog checking the outside. I need her to respect that outside.
You know, I still have like finishing details here. Like I gotta put in like some chicken wire along the border just to prevent the geese from like trying to
nip and rip at this, because geese will nip and rip at everything.
Geese are the main reason that all my tarps end up shredded.
Oh, I forgot. I also have to build one more door and install the door, so I guess I'm not
Totally done, and I kind of lied, and yeah, I probably won't even have time to finish shooting that video later today.
This is one of the doors. You know, I actually used the same material that's on the back door, as well as the material that's on these side panels. It's really durable, but it's also really lightweight.
I thought about making solid wood doors, but I don't know, I just kind of got concerned about the weight of them all, so I ended up going that route.
You know, probably something that's gonna happen in a week or two is Alfred's gonna bring his excavator by, and he's gonna mound up some dirt. And because the ground wasn't perfectly level, there's a bit of a gap on some sides of the walls. Right down here, there's a gap.
Versus like over here is completely flush with the ground. So what's gonna happen is Alfred's gonna take his excavator and sort of just mound up just a little bit of dirt to finish that wall off, so that on the outside, number one, for drainage, all the water runs in a certain direction. But then number two, it actually seals the building in. Even though I don't want the building to be perfectly sealed in, because ventilation is gonna be one of those things that I'm still fine tuning for the design of the building. You know, again, much like I've learned with other structures, I'm not trying to lock everything in place. I wanna have a little flexibility to iterate and refine my design, probably even after the birds move in. But I still probably won't move the birds in for, I don't know, maybe another week or two. If the weather stays like it is right now, I'm not gonna be in a rush, but things turn cold,
Tis a bit nippy.
I probably will scramble to get them in there. But I feel good that like right now, other than the chicken wire and the doors, like things are more or less in good shape.
Can you guys spot Abby out there doing her necessaries?
Parkour! Parkour! Of course I have to reach back and get the camera. So it's never that cool.
How are my chickens this morning? Everybody looks like they're doing well.
And silly me, I forgot my chicken-friendly compost. Why don't you guys wait here with the chickens and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We got my gross compost bag.
There you go, chickens. Enjoy. Even though our chickens get plenty of food, they love to pick through this compost. You know, because it's a crushed up egg, I'm not too worried about them eating it. Well, you can see Barbara's feathers are growing back in pretty well.
Barbara, you're looking good, girl. You're getting better. I love Barbara. Yeah, in our house, we have actually 2 different compost buckets always going. We have sort of the chicken-friendly compost bucket, which has things that chickens can eat, and then we have the chicken unfriendly. That way it's nice and easy to like bring stuff out to them. You know, one thing I'm gonna have to do when I move the hoop coop inside is I'm gonna have to come up with a solution so that chickens can still get access to their compost, but the ducks and geese can't. You know, that's because I often will give the chickens like bread and like old tortilla chips and like kind of that sort of stuff that would not be good for a duck or a goose. And I want to still be able to do that, so I got to come up with a solution there.
Of course, if I ever get pigs, a lot of this chicken compost will turn into pig food.
Because pigs will eat dang near anything. Which, to be fair, one of my biggest concerns about getting pigs is the amount of feed that pigs require. As we keep building out our farm as one that is sustainable and frankly helping fight the climate crisis, one of the things I'm very conscious of is like the sources and how I get the feed for my animals. And so part of what I'm actually looking at is to see if I can find like maybe like a local brewer who has lots of like spent grains that they use for brewing, and seeing if I can actually use that as my primary source or one of my main sources of feed for the pigs. Because if I can do that, I'd feel good. Like, you know, pigs' role in the ecosystem is to be a disruptor and help really take stagnating parts of land and change them up a bit. And then they can also be incredible composters. And so to have in my farm like a couple of pigs, not a lot, but just a couple who are helping do that, I think that that'd be really good. I think that the issue that I need to be conscious of is I gotta make sure I don't have too many, because at a certain point they stop becoming ecosystem balancers and become just ecosystem destroyers. You know, too much of anything is not good for anyone. Let's see how my laying activity's going. The girls are definitely starting to slow down. Only 4 since yesterday afternoon. The reason my ducks and chickens lay fewer and fewer eggs as the time goes on is, as you have less and less daylight, their brains go into shutdown mode and they need to have that little rest for their body. And so that's why they're gonna not produce as many eggs right now.
Plus, some of my younger chickens, like a couple of the ones that you see over here on the far left, they haven't started laying yet, I don't believe. Hey look, it's the Moron Brothers. Because I'm talking about the Moron Bros. Tattooed fingers, tattooed toes. I'm not positive yet, but I think Black Francis might be becoming the dominant rooster, and like the Moron Brothers are like his stooges. I'm watching very carefully on this chicken hierarchy and how it reassembles since the departure of Buck the rooster, who was the lead rooster for most of these gals you see here on the right. But overall, even though there's like 2 factions inside my flock, they have become one pretty well adjusted and like cohesive flock together. Wouldn't you agree with me, Abby? Abby, you ready to do cow chores? So you don't have much cow chores to do today. It looks like Toby Dog's already up there.
The cattle are getting to the point where they're like in the back corner of the permaculture orchard, which is amazing. I can't believe they've gone through 3 times and they're still at a good pace. They're about, I think they're actually 59 days since the last time they were in the spot that they're in right now. You know, as the weather grows colder, the grass grows slower and it's less nutritious, so I'm having to move them faster. But the good news is I also have fewer parasite and pest problems with them this time of year because it is cold.
Like for example, I've actually stopped trapping for flies at this point in the year.
Because at these temperatures, flies are no longer a problem. Flies really become a problem when you're in your like June, July, and August time period.
Well, very soon we're gonna be in tree season. You know, we're definitely at peak fall foliage, or maybe just a couple days past peak fall foliage. But some of my trees still are going. Like this mulberry, I wouldn't want to try to prune it yet just because it looks pretty vibrant still. Same thing with this black locust tree over here. Well, if you look at this though, it looks like this mulberry tree is starting to go dormant, so that's a good sign.
From when I'm recording this right now, I'm probably about 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away from my tree season going into full gear. For me on my farm, tree season typically includes pruning trees as well as starting new seed stock that I'll actually pull out of the ground next spring. And I'll start boxing up and shipping all of my tree seedlings that I've sold so far this year. Which, by the way, I know I keep getting emails from folks on this one. I am completely sold out of tree seedlings. I have been since probably May, which is why I haven't even seen me promote them. You know, of all my farm businesses, trees have become the most profitable and most in demand. It's kind of crazy. I would have never expected it. I will probably continue to scale that part of the business up as I get into next year. And probably, I don't know, in December, I'll do a whole video breaking down the farm finances and how much we made this year. But as I've said in other recent videos, it's like the cows knocked their mineral block out. From a revenue standpoint, I've definitely made more money this year versus last year. And I know I'm gonna have a pretty good increase in profit too.
Ooh. Look at those, couple of Canada geeses trying to catch up with their crew. You got another 5 over there that you probably can't see behind the trees. There's another 2, oh, a couple more. Oh, there's a big one.
Have you guys ever stopped and listened to the sound of a duck or a goose flying overhead? And I'm not talking like my farm's ducks or geese, I'm talking about like wild ones. But like the sound of a waterfowl flying sounds very different when compared to like a regular bird. I don't know, to me it sounds almost like mechanical, like an old-fashioned like flapping airplane versus like the smoothness of a regular bird.
Good morning, Moo Crew. How's everybody doing? Abby, are you getting them worked up? Please don't. That's good girl. Good girl. That's right, you sit. Abby's learning. She still does some behaviors that I don't like, but she's starting to learn that, oh no, what she needs to do is sit when she's in those situations, which, you know, she can never get in trouble when she's sitting, really. How's it going, Annabelle? Hey, Belinda. How's it going, girl? Audrey 1. Good to see you, gal. Oh, how's my girl? Good to see you, Ariel. Yeah, you are the sweetest girl. It's getting so much shaggier. Feels so nice. Yeah, good girl.
You know, for the most part, I've been finding moving my cattle 2 times a day works really well. I'm actually gonna give them another, I don't know, 10 hours or so here in this paddock because I'm about to move them to the next paddock over. So,
you know, they work this lane for about 4 or 5 days, keep exposing new stuff every 12 hours or so. Now they're gonna go on to this one, next layer over.
But I have to actually leave the farm for a couple of days. And so what I'm gonna do is have my farm sitter here to make life a little bit easier for my farm sitter. I'm not gonna have her move them at all. She just needs to make sure that they have water and no chaos breaks out.
But they'll just have this entire cell to graze
for about 3 days before I move them into the next lane down.
So in preparation for that, I'm gonna actually leave them here this morning and not move them. They still have plenty of grass to eat as I'm looking at it. You know, even some of the good stuff like vetch is still left over, so they're clearly not hungry.
They're in no rush to move. Now some might ask, well, why do I clump them close together and make them graze small spots like this? And the reason is they eat the grass more uniformly. They get more bang for their buck out of the grass. They eat both the good stuff and the bad stuff. You know, if you give like a cow 2 or 3 acres to graze over the span of a month or 2, they're gonna gravitate to certain patches and they're not gonna evenly distribute their grazing. By grazing them the way I do, when they move to that fresh paddock, they're ready to go and they get down to the business of eating. They also tend to trample the things they like less. Like for example, here's some milkweed, there's some goldenrod over there. That trampling impact actually leads to better pastures as well.
So I know, girls, you're gonna be upset that you're not moving right now.
Or should I say moving right now? But I'll be back later this afternoon
to get you guys to the fresh pasture for the next couple of days.
Oh wait, before I go, let's see if Jimi Hendrix will let me give him noogies.
Hey Jimmy, buddy. Can I give you some noogies? Yeah, you love those noogies, yeah. Noogies, 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 noogies. Good boy. Abby loves to smell the back ends of the cattle. I don't know why. I think she tries to nurse off the moms, even though they don't let her. Okay, Jimmy, just a little bit more noogies. I know, you love the noogies. Pretty soon, I'm gonna start with a brush. I know. I think you're gonna like that even better. Annabelle, if you ever ask for them, I'd be happy to give you noogies too, but I know you're not interested. Yeah, I don't take it personally. Don't worry, girl. All right, come on, Abbly Dabbly Do. Wait, actually, I have this scrub brush here.
I usually use it to clean out their water tank, but sometimes I use it as a brush on the cattle. They seem to like it.
Good boy, Jimmy. Good boy.
That's super satisfying. That means I have 2 cattle now who will let me brush them. I must be doing something right in life if that's the type of success I'm celebrating these days.
Dogs are getting their zoomies out, which is a good thing. Who's the zoomiest zoomer? You are, girl. Yeah. Hi. You having fun?
Gosh, I wish I could have like a desk or something out here and do any of the indoor work I have to do today, like right in this spot somewhere. It's so nice. You know, as the day's warming up and the sun's coming out, it feels good. Being around the trees and the animals makes me happy.
Just one of my favorite settings to be out here like this. What you guys smelling? Toby seems to be paying close attention to this area. Marking his territory. Something in there? Oh, he might be getting like a mouth roll or something. What you got there, Toby dog? Toby like back off, Abby. This is my weird thing. Abby is like the perpetual annoying little sister to Toby. I know, you're lovable and adorable, but I think you drive him nuts sometimes.
Come on, Abby, you and me can feed the birds and give them fresh water.
Let Toby dog do his thing. Let's see if we can find our Drake. Oh, I hear him. Here he is. There's our lone Drake right there.
Still haven't landed on a name for him yet, so if you have suggestions, let me know down below. A couple of the popular ones have been Blackjack, Frank Black, Blackula, and there was also somebody who wanted to call him Drake because he's the lone Drake, which kind of is an appropriate name, so I don't know.
But I think the best name I've heard so far is Steve McQueen.
Put your selections down below. Let's start a feeding frenzy, huh? Well, that wasn't quite the feeding frenzy I was expecting because it seems like all the ducks or most of the ducks are out in the pasture and in the pond. So, yeah, they all look very happy and content, but apparently not all that hungry.
Of course, I know who's gonna be hungry. You eating some grass there, girl? Yeah? You want some food? Come on.
Well, I guess I couldn't depend on the ducks to have a feeding frenzy this morning, but I know I'm gonna be able to depend on the barn cats to have that feeding frenzy.
I know, hang on, I'm coming. I know, hang on.
First, let me leave you with some water. Okay, no, nobody's ever excited about water. Now we'll give a portion to little Ginny, because Ginny's always the first one to want to try to eat. We'll do a portion to Miss Molly. Okay, all right, you guys are gonna trade? Pablo! I don't know where Pablo is. I'm sure he'll come soon.
I'll leave that there for him.
You know, it's mornings like this where I feel very lucky to lead the life that I do, and I have the chance to share it all with you guys. So thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, or maybe watch another video, and I'll be back again real soon with something new. Thanks, guys.